Oh yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm back. I'm back. I was on earlier, but I'm back. Cause another thing, I got more to say. Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. What's good, YouTube? All my real YouTubers and all my real monetization nation, those who, if you were a real YouTuber and you know me, you subscribe. So I appreciate you if you subscribe, you know. And I'm gonna stay on focus this time. I'm not gonna go on too many tangents because I realized there was one other topic I meant to cover earlier and I didn't cover it. Now, if you know our format, we do multi-niche content. We don't have one thing. What's this channel about? What is this? What is this ONYXCON? What is it? ONYXCON is a lifestyle. ONYXCON is about living your best art life. To live your best art life, you got to understand what the arts are. I said the arts. The arts. That's an S on there. That's plural. Okay? You got to understand what art is to understand what the arts are. Art is any and every creative expression that appeals to, ignites, activates your senses. All 6 of them. I said all 6 of them, including your soul, your spirit, your third eye, your essence. You got your 5 senses, you got that one. You got your sight, you got your taste, you got your smell, you got your touch. Okay? You got the sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing, and you got your inner, your essence, your everything, your third eye, your soul, your spirit, the 6th sense. Whatever touches that, whatever ignites that, whatever makes that think, whether you like what you get out of it or not. You know, you don't always have to like all art, but you're gonna react. It's going to activate those senses. And it is a creative expression. It has to be a creative expression. That's art. Okay? So, and you know, as I said that again, because I always get so many emotions when I think about that definition I created. And I determined that a long time ago. I developed that definition a long time ago. It had to evolve, though. It wasn't always that thorough. It became that thorough as I got older. That's the blessing of getting older in life. You know what I'm saying? Universe bless. I said universe bless. Universe means all as one. The totality as one. Universe. All things considered, all perspectives considered. Universe bless. See, I'm not religious. I can say spiritual because I respect spirits. I respect energies, but I'm a universalist. So that means it don't matter if you Christian, it don't matter if you Hindu, it don't matter if you Muslim, it don't matter what you are, whatever you practice, as long as the energy is functional, not dysfunctional, we good. Brothers and sisters, we good. My peoples, mi gente, in totales. All of us, we good. Modupe. Oh, what's up? My Yorubas just went crazy. Let me. Dalo. Oh, my Igbos is losing it. It's Mantap. Now all my Malay done went crazy. Malaysia, what's good? It's Mantap. Come on now. Nobody playing over here. It's ONYXCON. Let's go. When I'm in the Yucatan, they say ONYXCON. Anish. That's how they pronounce the X. ONYXCON. Yes. ONYXCON. All right, y'all. So my topic, now that I've done a very nice, thorough introduction, is especially specific to when you gotta let them go online. When you following somebody and you gotta let them go. You done had enough. It's not personal, really. It's just, it don't serve you no more. You got to a point, you're like, you know what? I thought I liked what they was talking about, but I don't need this no more. They're not changing. They're going to be who they're going to be. They're successful. They don't need me to keep climbing their ladder. I mean, it's not like they're at the point where they just started and they need numbers and I just want to be around to add to the numbers. No, they got millions. I mean, and they making millions and they kicking it and they cool and they good. And more power to them. But when I wake up and I'm going through the stages of my day, and I used to include something in my day because they were always there, or every other day they post and they got something up and I got to see it, and because I follow them, you know. You don't want that in your algorithm no more, because every time you come in, the thing is that the one little thing is, first it starts off as a little itch, then it's a scratch, then it's like, it's breaking you out in highs. It's like, would they please stop? Damn, what the hell? So let me break it down what it is. Let me break it down. And I started with that note about how I'm not religious on purpose, because it's got a lot to do with just that. Okay? I am a universalist. No shame in it. I'm standing on it. I made it this far saying it. It ain't gonna change. Okay? And I don't have anything against anyone practicing whatever works for them. My issue is dogma. My issue is agendas. My issue is when people try to push their stuff on you. Like, if you don't agree with this, you can feel it on some people's content. I mean, some people I respect it more when you just like, that's what we're about over here. And we are trying to get you to convert. We want everyone in the world to be a Christian, and that's what we're about. Okay, now I know what you're about. I will not be subscribing here. You're not going to waste any months or weeks or days of my time or hours or seconds. Thank you so much for making it clear where you stand. I'm out of here. And before I go any further, let me say too, views and opinions expressed, y'all already know the rest of this speech, right? Do not necessarily reflect those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. Because I got plenty of Christian friends, Muslim friends, Hindu friends, any friends of any different spiritual systems and religions. There's a difference in spiritual systems and religions, okay? Okay? I got friends from all that. I don't care what and they good with me. They know how I am. They know. They've been watching, and some of them are lucky enough to be in my actual existence. They have had, if you still have access, you are universe blessed, and universe blessed to know of each other's essence and be a part of each other's journey. And that's a beautiful thing. Two people can be different in many ways, but still all the same at the end of the day, because we understand what's most important in life. And you ain't got to practice what I practice on your spirituality to be important, and your existence be important, and our essence together as human beings be important to the life force of this planet and to the universe as a whole. Yeah. So, but when people are part of these agendas and dogma and don't even realize how much they're a part of it, to where it literally affects economies. Like, people don't want to do business with people because, oh, well, they're not my thing, so I don't think we're going to. And people don't want to have relationships, intimate relationships with people because they're like, oh, I don't want to, because you're not equally yoked, and you don't align with what I'm about. And so here's what I'm talking about specifically, because I know y'all wondering, what got you going, man? What is it? What is it? What show? What person's content? And I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say it out loud. I didn't want to have to put a name on it, but it's okay. They done got big enough that they may never even see my video or give a damn what I got to say. And it don't matter to me. So I'm gonna speak on it, because I don't drop names unless I really don't. Sometimes it depends on the character of the person. If you know that they shallow water and they the kind of people that everything's a beef and they think they gonna have smoke, then, I'd be like, some people I don't care. I still say whatever I got to say. But other folks, I just say, yeah. It ain't about fear. It's about, I fear what I would do if I had to defend myself if someone was offended. So I'm gonna not mention, because I don't want that drama. But in this case, I know, or I don't know. I don't know. Looks can be deceiving, and so can energy. I'll just say, I don't get the feeling that these two super Christians would be, viscerally angered by anybody not agreeing with the way they push what I consider pushing a obvious perspective in the way their content is now versus how it was when they started. So here's who it is. Pop the Balloon or Find Love. The original Arletta Mooley and her husband. I wish I knew his name by heart. But yes, her husband's the producer, so I'm shouting him out too. And I still am shouting him out. I said this in other videos when I talked about their show. And I've even done reaction videos to their show, because I'm not the kind of person who's on some shallow stuff like I'm not gonna give you your credit where credit's due or try to take points away. These two deserve to be in the annals of the history of social media as two of the greatest to ever do it for the kind of content they are doing and have done. Still going and going stronger than ever, quite frankly, for what they've accomplished recently. So if you're not familiar with the content, what it is, and you've probably heard of the phenomenon because there's other biters that have gone hog freaking crazy wild with it. I mean, all over YouTube. For years now, you've had all the other versions of the Pop the Balloon, but the original one is Arletta Mooley and her husband, okay? I give credit where the source is. And I'm proud to say that these two refined lady and gentlemen, the one thing I love most about the way they do their stuff is it's refined. They don't allow the ratchet to be the norm, like all the other, I ain't gonna say all, but most of the other ones are. They ratchet as hell, they childish as hell, they're ran by younger folk that have this uncouth nature to how they move and how they present it, and everybody's cussing every other word, and everything's got to be a joning match and pick somebody apart, and not just say, oh, I don't like the outfit they're wearing, but got to really get into why with specific ugly details. And all. They're not like that. People do little shallow. It's just more tasteful, but and I respect that. I don't like the ugly side of that and where that can go. I like when it's more respectful and like how Arlette would be like, okay, that's enough. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna do this. We're gonna keep some order and some discipline to that in this crazy ass society, so it don't get out of hand. So I like that about the way they do. I really do. Yeah, so I like that about what they do. I like that about what they do and how they go about what they're doing. I really do. I think that, so where I have my conflict is when I first discovered them years ago, because I've been watching this stuff for years, and I can proudly and also, also annoyingly, because I've had my issues with it, say, I think I've watched every single episode that ever came out. If I've missed one, it's by chance, because the way they are so popular on YouTube and the ad dollars they're obviously making, the algorithm loves them because their average video is gonna hit millions. So if you follow her, you gonna see their stuff. Ain't gonna be no, I don't care what else you like to watch, they gonna make sure you see it, and they gonna keep bringing it up. So it's like, I'll be in the mood to watch, oh, let me watch my fishing content. Oh, let me watch a vacation something. I need to see something about somewhere else and places I want to go, or let me do some research, or wait a minute, or let me look into some historical stuff. Let me watch a history-based video, or wait a minute, and it don't matter what I'm looking for, right? You gonna see that between it. Like, damn, boy, they gonna make you. All right, what's this one? And the only reason I click that button most of the time, because the format don't change. They got a formula. It won. It's winning. Go for it. Their biggest success recently, if you didn't know, they got a Netflix contract. They have the Netflix version of Pop the Balloon. And that's the Hollywood version for sure. There's a difference. I'm in the biz. I work in Hollywood. Okay, so I know the difference when I'm looking at that versus what they are doing. They have a studio. They have a nice studio in Arizona where they do the original one. But when you look at what they're doing, what Netflix did, and it was obvious. I love how they did that. Whatever they wrote out in their contract and how they got it arranged, they have not lost the rights. They will forever make money on it because it's their original concept. But it's obvious that the Netflix show is its own thing. And the format is completely its own thing. With sister, oh gosh, trying to remember her first name as I say this, but Orji is her last name, Nigerian American, who played one of the main characters that everybody loves on Issa Rae's Insecure. She's the host and does an amazing job. I think she's just perfect for the host. She's got that energy. She's upbeat as I don't know what. She keep it going. She's a natural, smiling, lovely lady with a lot of high energy. That's what a show like that needs. And that's not that it didn't always have that. Arlette is lovely and she has a great energy, but it's just not the same as somebody who I can tell is trained as an actress. I get the feeling looking at Arlette that she's somebody who knows how to present, definitely. She strikes me as, I don't know her history. I'm saying this off of just what I've observed. She strikes me like somebody who worked in corporate for a while and did a lot of presentations in a boardroom and knows how to do that very well. But there's a difference in that doing what is required for. All right, y'all. As we continue, so I was saying, um, I tend to my frustration will tend to start when I'm watching the net. I'm just gonna do them like that. I'm gonna say the Netflix version, YouTube version. So when I'm watching the YouTube version, what gets under my skin enough is I respect that they have this amazing monetary ability to not only be monetized by YouTube, but they got Fashion Nova now as an official sponsor. So every time Arlette comes out, she was always sharp. Now she gonna be head to toe strutting her stuff. Okay, she's the epitome of the lady who likes to wear her weaves and her lashes and her, you know, well done makeup. I don't like all that, but she does it at the best version of how you do it. You know what I mean? I give her credit. She know how to put her stuff on, right? Or have it put on, whoever's working for her. And she always had a nice outfit. You know, it always looks professional. It always looks elegant, whatever. Now she got Fashion Nova. Of course, she got to strut back and forth and show off the fit. Not from the beginning only, but throughout the show. So I get the whole cameraman walks in front of them. They're doing a steady cam situation. If you don't know terms from the biz, like I say, I'm in the film biz. Steady cam is when you basically have one of these rigs where I'm more than sure that's how they shoot that show. The old school way was like if you had a big camera and you had it on your shoulder, you had these really heavy units that you carried, and you had to keep that thing steady as possible and look through the little eye hole. I forget the exact word for it, but basically it's the lens for you to see what the shot looks like and everything. And I tell you from experience, because I've done movies where they still had some of them old cameras to use as props, and I was playing press. There's some heavy motherfucking cameras. Some cameras heavy as shit. Okay, but nowadays they got these other things that they're heavy as hell too, but they call it a steady cam, and you wear this body vest system that's kind of like an Iron Man, the top of an Iron Man suit or something. Just imagine military gear, because it's actually based on that, the way it's structured, but it's based on like military armored vest, and there's an arm element that connects to it, and the vest helps you to not carry all the weight of it. It holds some of that. It redistributes the weight of the camera, and it has this kind of arm with an elbow that can move and stay. It's a huge, and it keeps the camera steady. So on Arlette's show on YouTube, the cameraman's walking with her. I'm more than sure he's shooting with her. He's using that, pan down, pan up, move back, move forward. I get it, but it becomes annoying as all hell when the conversation is trying to keep flowing on the show and keep it fun. And you gotta, okay, we're gonna walk back over here. Okay, we're gonna move here. Okay, whoop, pop, somebody else pop behind me. All right, let's go see about who that was. Okay, your name and and then they had to repeat their name again, repeat where they're from again, do this and that again. If you compare it to the Netflix show, yo, once you've established who you are, this is live. The show is not that long. We're pretty sure our audience is going to remember what you said if they're paying attention. And if they didn't, it's Netflix. You can rewind. Even if it's live, we know you're going to watch it again after the live feed goes off. And I don't know, I've never done this, but you might be able to rewind and fast forward while it's live. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I'm saying, like, there's no reason to have to do the time somebody a little bit of who you are, if it's a completely new person comes out, yeah, okay, you got to reinvent, you got to say who you are again, all that kind of thing. I understand it. But with that live host, how OG does it, she's so good at, give me something new. We already heard that you were, for example, if somebody's a school teacher, that she's going to tell the person, well, now so-and-so's a school teacher. So she good with kids if you got a kid. That's how bridges, conversation. There's a way to do this without boring the out of me. and I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, I wish that the YouTube original version is good in its own way as the Netflix, but for me, my personal opinion, it's not. And it's kind of crazy to say that when this is the original. It's like, damn, like, you want the original to be just as good in a different way. I don't expect the same type of format. Nah, you done Hollywood what it is now. It's gonna be what it is. But I actually enjoy the Hollywood version more. Now somebody might say, oh, that's because you like stuff like that that's more commercialized. But no. The reason I like the Netflix version of the show better, for Pop the Balloon or Find Love, is that, first of all, time is considered on every episode. I've heard OG joke with guests when they get a little too loose and can't think of what they want to say. She'd be like, hey, this is live, all right? And they just laugh together and keep it moving. Like, hello, don't know. And I relate to that because not only from being in the biz, but also as far as Hollywood side of shit, but even independent film. I've been on radio. You talk about you better keep it moving. Don't never stop talking. I learned that from my radio time. You do not stop talking as much as possible, because people say, oh man, you talk too much. Yeah, right, but that's what they listening for. People talk, if they don't want to hear, they go, they get out, bye, but if they want to hear, they stick around, and you need to be saying something. It keeps them paying attention. If they're doing other stuff, they get too quiet, they're going to think the show done went off. They're going to be, oh, damn, never mind, going to something else. But if you keep stimulating, they're going to pay attention. So anyway, I don't like that about it. And the other thing with it's funny, I said, and it's ironic, because I remember I heard that the Netflix show was coming. And I made this statement. I said, one of my biggest frustrations is lack of diversity on the show in two major ways, I said. For one thing, I can see that from the beginning, Pop the Balloon or Find Love was really all about black love. They ought to say, Pop the Balloon or Find Black Love. Now, I ain't got no problem with that, if that's your focus, okay? But when with the phrase black love, it's limiting too. Because then you get into the constructs of what blackness is and who's black and what ain't black and all that other bullshit for me. Because the constructs, man, ethnicity and cultural elements are all that truly define any of us. Ethnicity and cultural elements are not the same as race. Race is a construct. Because somebody can come out looking like a young version of Colin Powell as the man and the gay. Everybody, ooh, who that white man out here? I'm not white. I'm actually black, but I'm mixed, but I'm black. They'd be like, oh no, pop, I want black love. It gets stupid. It gets real silly. And immature as and I don't like that. I like when people are worldly enough to consider other possibilities. Now, if you limit it and that's all you like, okay, fine. Everybody got their taste. I'm an individual who loves all types of ladies. Okay? I've dated all types of ladies. And majority of those ladies I've dated in that spectrum of different ladies have Asian, Latina, and when I say Asian, I mean Southeast Asian, South Asian, Indian. Okay, shout out to my Indians. Shout out to my Southeast Asians. Shout out to all Latinas. All. Okay? Because I don't separate, but they separate themselves. I'm Afro-Latina. I'm white Latina. Who told you was white? Okay. Again, constructs. I don't see it that way. But I know how I've learned that some of them see themselves like that. But no, I'm Latin, but I'm white. Yeah, okay. Well, go into a situation where there's some racist white folk who think that what you are is not white to them, and we'll see if you still want to claim that side. It all becomes a joke, man. It gets real weird. But anyway, I like that on the Netflix show, it's diverse. And I said that show always needed that. So I got my dream come true. So again, I like the other show better. I like the Netflix show better. It's diverse. The variety of beauty is amazing. I mean, you get the buffet, baby. They doing some hella casting up in there. Gorgeous black women, gorgeous Latin women, gorgeous Asian women, gorgeous white women. Some of them, I mean, not all of them my taste. But there be some that I say, well, damn. What's up? What happened there? But it's gotta be like that. It's gotta be a nice blend. It's gotta be a really wonderful blend. That's just me. And I think a lot of more people are on that tip in today's society anyway. And it's more of a reflection of where we are in the real dating world. If you're going to go into something that's a national, international show, and it's on freaking Netflix, and even with this one that's on YouTube, man, you're on YouTube. It's international. Whether you say it's international or not, it is international. Okay, the whole world is watching. When you say that, the whole world is seeing it. You can believe that. So I like that about it. And I feel that if people were to experience the original show with a diverse situation, it would be even more successful than it has been. But that's just my opinion. It ain't gonna ever happen. It is what it is. It ain't trying to change. Now, here's the other reason I know it's never trying to change. That this one is my biggest pet peeve, honestly. The diversity is not that big. It is what it is. I can accept that. I like that I do agree that there should be some things that are so culturally specific. They are just for a specific group culturally. You notice how I'm saying this, culturally. And I ain't say for the culture, because there's no one. Because that's where I'm going with this. If it's for the cultures of the African diaspora, which is what it technically represents when you have a show like this, then why is it limited to only Black Americans who are Christian? Because I'm telling you, this show went from, there used to be a format where there would always be, if there was 8 women or 8 men and 1 lady, or 8 women, 1 man, 8 men, 1 woman, and she comes out and they're standing with Arlette and they're going through to everybody and everybody's talking about what's important to them. Whenever religion would come up, yep, because Arlette and her husband are very, very religious and super Christian about it. They start off everything they got to say, thanking our Lord and Jesus Christ. And I am kind of being facetious, and it'll be a joke, making jokes about the way his, has an accent. But that's my brother, and I'm just saying, I get it, but I don't like the fact that you're making everybody subscribe to that just to enjoy your show and be that to be on the show, because it went from, there used to be one person that would be like, I'm not religious. And sometimes the balloon would pop quick about that. Other times people be like, well, yo, me too. That's what, and they would pair up and it'd be great. And everybody's happy. Now, it ain't got to the point where the whole lineup is just diehard Christian. It sounds like a daggone, it's starting to sound like Sunday school up in there. It's turned into a revival. It's not even a show. They need to just be honest with themselves. You're really making ChristianMatch.com for Black folk. Just call it what it is. It's okay. You're going to lose audience, but you're losing us anyway if you're making it, kind of like the low-key obvious thing. Just make it real blatant. Pop the balloon for Jesus. God damn. And go to church with me in love. That need to be the name of the damn show at this point, for real, y'all. What y'all think in the comments? I'm done. That's my main point, and I'm out here busy. Because the rest of us, people who ain't millionaires yet, still got to deliver groceries until we get our monetization. Subscribe.